Derek Olin here, Olin Plumbing. This morning we got Matt Dumas here from Hammerhead. He's checking off our new code equipment, make sure we got everything that we need in order to be able to start aligning these sewers. And then we're going to go ahead and set some training up. The other person I got here, I got Dave Fenton from Fenton Mechanical, also the president of our local PHCC. Dave gave us a buzz earlier this week, and he saw that I posted that we were getting this equipment, and he wanted to know stuff about it. And I said, hey, I got Matt coming. You want to come over and uncrate it with us? And I've also invited Dave to send one of his guys over to training when we start our training on it, so he gets a better idea of what's involved with this. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I honestly believe that contractors, even though we're competitors, we should work together and we should help educate one another and stand behind one another. So you got anything you want to add to that, Dave?
No, I agree. It's with George Hasseltime phrase, co-opetition, to where we uplift the whole industry. So it's a good thing that you share and best practices and new technology.
All righty. So we're going to turn it over to Matt here. And we don't even know if he's camera shy or not.
About 100%. So what we have is our new coating system with point repair. This is going to be the point repair bladder that goes in and does the 2-foot repairs in a fiberglass form. So point repair goes from here to here, slides in, this inflates like a football, and puts the repair that you just wet out into the sewer.
So we got to have a compressor when we use this thing?
Yes, sir. Small pancake compressor.
Okay.
I'll show you exactly what you need. I actually have one in my truck.
We've got one here at the shop also.
20
What's
push rod.
the PSI on that you?
This one here, it should be 36.
36. So this is inflate from what size to what size?
This one goes 3 to 4,
3 to 4 inch.
which is the most common we find down here in the Tampa area.
And what's the distance that you can go in?
With this setup right now, you could go 100 feet.
100 feet.
Yes, sir.
All right. So right now we can basically all we're going to be able to do is coat a 100-foot line.
Right at 100. You'll have capability to do, I do believe it's 87.
All righty.
So you just need another point of entrance after 85 foot so that you can continue coating the
To
line.
continue on down the line.
But you want another point of entrance, or you can't do it from the same location. Let's say I'm on a commercial building and I got 300 foot of line that needs to be coated.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do I have to have different points of entrance, or can I do it from one?
You should have different points of entrance there to get your footage.
Is it the resin will harden up inside the line or something?
Correct. It'll harden up before it gets out that far.
All
It's
right.
not gonna, and
So-
the pump's not gonna push it that far.
Okay, so being safe to pump and being safe as far as the resin goes, right at 78 feet is our max.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So, and the other thing is, especially if you're in a commercial building, code station should have a clean out every 100 feet. So,
So put a two-way clean out, and that way you can catch the 20 foot that direction and you can go 80 foot that direction
yes, sir.
and keep on going.
I like to, if I'm doing a super long run, I would start here at my max depth, my max distance, so my 80 feet. I dig here, go 80 that way, go 80 that way, have another hole there, or I'll go down another 80.
Yeah.
80, 80. And that'll eliminate how many holes you have to have.
All right. Okay.
So we're just gonna do some counting and make sure everything's here today.
So we should talk to you while you're going.
And yeah, talk to me, Dave, so that I forget what I did. And then we'll get everything checked in. We're going to schedule for the training. When they purchase the system, they get 3 days of training with this system. So we'll have someone come down and train them, a certified trainer from Hammerhead.
A little 3 months ago, we have competitors. We have the flex shaft.
Yes,
and
sir.
have the carbide teeth, went through, cleaned up the inside of the pipe, and brought a jetter out there, and the line was, I think, 115 foot. We couldn't get all the debris that was in the bottom of that pipe out, even with a jetter, a tow behind jetter, that there was still a lot of debris that was in that line due to the weight of it.
Correct. And I used to run a garden hose
As you were going.
as I was going. What I'm finding out is the wire brushes, the brushes for the coating,
Mm-hmm.
we tried that. It didn't work very well to help push the stuff. They were too flimsy.
Yeah.
The wire brushes that the coats come out with recently are actually pushing that material forward, and they're not very
Pushing or
expensive.
pulling?
Pushing,
Okay, so you got,
acting like a broom.
okay, so you're, well, when you descale a system, you're pushing everything at the same time, you don't start at the end and work your way back?
So when you're cleaning, yes, sir, you're going to start at the far end, work your way back,
High side, low side.
right, as far as you can. Go as far as you can out, and then come back to yourself.
And then you put the brushes on and go all the way forward and pull back.
Yes, sir.
So you clean forward and, or you descale forward and you clean coming back.
Yes, sir.
All right.
But to get all that
Scale.
material out of there, you're not going to want to pull it to you unless you have some kind of shop vac sitting in that hole. Guess you do it either way.
Yeah.
A little shop vac sucking it up. One reason I found that using a flex shaft doesn't get the material broken down small enough.
Yeah.
With the coat system, you're running at a higher RPM, and
More dust.
correct, you're creating more dust, so the material's not as heavy as well.
Gotcha.
So, but if you leave that dust in there and you go to coat,
It's going to be hardened and lumpy.
it's going to be nasty. It's going to look awful, no matter how many coats you put on.
Got it.
These I standardly keep in a tube, like a 6-inch piece of pipe.
All right.
As you can see, this is the push rods. I like to keep everything together. Air's going to go in, air's going to come out.
Okay.
Regulates it to the proper proper temperature, proper pressure that you're going to need in that repair setup.
So, all right.
So when you go to use it, when you get trained on this, they'll show you how to set it.
What?
That's going to be for your flex adapters that we're going to find somewhere in the rest of this mess.
All right.
And I like to keep them in here because they're always there.
All right.
Keeps everything
Well, I
together.
notice there's stuff in there now.
Yeah, I think that's some kind of seal, and then that's just the regular dividers that come with those little Plano cases.
Which is all French to me.
It's like tackle box.
Dividers.
Yeah.
It's French to me.
Very simple. You have your connectors for your hoses here. They slide in here. There's a orange or red. I'm not sure what color it really is because I'm colorblind as can be. Goes through here. And this works like a diaphragm pump. Just simply, or a dairy pump. Simply goes around, creates a vacuum, sucks you'll have a pan here, which is in this box. Goes right here, and a gun sits on top. It's like a dual cartridge electric caulk gun.
Gotcha.
Squirts it down into the pan, pumps it up through, and out to your distance.
And it mixes inside the pan when it's pumping through.
It mixes through the tube. So it's
Puts the
dual
two of them
epoxy, and
together.
it's
Yeah.
got the little rod on it.
Yep.
Mixing chamber.
Okay. Got it.
Does have certain speeds that this can be ran out. And apart to do your next coat.
Yeah.
You're dropping all that stuff into
The acetone.
the acetone, that little bucket. It's gonna have a hole in it about yay big. Remember I said flex adapters? We're gonna put those in that case in a minute. There's our extension piece. Flex adapters. This adjoins two cables to themselves, 3rd by 3rd. Therefore, allowing it to spin. So you only have 59 feet in this, and then there's 32 feet on the smaller extension. And Derek was smart enough that he bought extra cable for when they destroyed the first one.
Yeah, instead of being shut down.
These are our brush stoppers. This is a tiger chain
Wow.
with a drill head on the front.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
That is one of my favorite chains.
Wow, that is pretty.
And that'll go from 3 to 4.
That one there will do 3-inch.
Depending on how far you space this apart, is how much it opens up.
Right.
Well, I may have misspoke. That may be the 4-inch. No, that's 3.
For the chains, do you have a piece of the jacketing that you put in between to keep the right spacing for your different chains?
Yes, sir. So what we do is when you start setting your tooling up on here,
Mm-hmm.
you save every piece of jacket that comes off of your coat. I don't
Okay.
care if it's this long or that long.
Okay.
You save that. If you ever run a cable and you still have good casing, save all the casing, throw the cable away. Because you can always use that for something else within the system itself.
Okay.
For spacers, if you have an unusable section of cable, you
Mhm.
can make your own whips,
Okay.
which I'll show you what a whip is here in a little bit. They're in the kits,
Okay.
but you can make those whips on your own as well, instead of having to buy them or what have you. So
Mhm.
it's just a few pieces.
Cool.
All right.
I make sure I always order my customers 2 extras, because you're going to throw those in the acetone. You're going to want to be setting up for another coat.
Mhm.
You have another set without having to worry about that acetone being in there. They get the ones clean while somebody's doing the other coat,
Yeah.
and boom, you're
Keep
just
on going.
rotating.
All that is the liner, right?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Everything you need for that liner.
so- okay.
So the resin, a table.
It takes a different resin than this?
Yes, sir.
All
This
right.
is a silica-based resin.
All right.
Okay, so with the point repairs, not only are they structural, they're also they're E80 and H20 rated, so they can be on the railroad and roadways, and they're also a silica-based resin. So where we have here in Florida, we have a lot of water infiltration coming into the pipes, right?
Mhm.
So as I'm putting that in place with a standard resin or epoxy resin, it's going to wash off because it's real liquidy, right?
Mhm.
This is a silica-based resin, so as I'm putting that in place, that water's hitting it and it's bouncing off of it just like it does silicone.
All right.
So as I inflate that, then that resin's going to seep into that hole area and it's going to bond itself into that hole, not to the pipe.
All right.
We all, the 3 of us are
Yep.
intelligent enough,
Yep.
we all, or 4 of us intelligent enough that we all know that you're not bonding anything to that pipe. You're actually bonding to its imperfections and what you're trying to repair.
Yeah.
If it didn't have an imperfection, we wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
This is what it connects to those pieces. You don't have to cut it or anything. They're already pre-cut for them. You put your hose connectors on, put your,
And this is what the pump rotates around on?
yes sir.
All right. All right.
You can buy this in a roll
Mhm.
and cut it yourself.
Oh, wow.
But when I did the cost analysis, it was more expensive to buy it in the roll.
Huh.
Bags for your coat tooling. Each one is size specific. This is going to be your 3-inch, I do believe. Yes, 3-inch. So when we talked about the wire brushes,
Yeah.
it comes with the wire brushes that we talked about. It comes with a couple of the nylon brushes.
Let's see. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Let's see how stiff they. Go on. I just wanted to see how stiff they were. It's like an inexpensive wire brush that you would buy at Home Depot, not a real commercial grade type. Just
like
enough.
a wire wheel.
Yeah, just enough to agitate the stuff that's sitting in the cracks and crevices.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is an original. Trying to remember the exact cyclone chain. This is for honing that pipe. So you have the ones we showed you earlier, the tiger chains, which are an original chain. Those are going to go through first, and then this is going to hone that pipe down to the original size.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
to the proper size that it was supposed to be.
Proper ID.
Sanding pads. Those are going to go on here. So basically, everything you need
Laminated.
is in this bag. The
Why we
only
got-
thing I added to your order was the tiger chains because I really like those.
Yeah.
So why have we got so many bags of chains?
Got so many bags of chains because yes, they do not last forever. So you get 3 of the cyclones and you get 3 of the originals.
Okay, so what is the, let's say,
Actually-
the lifespan on it? Do they have a per foot use? You know, how many feet?
It's
You
going
know,
to depend on how bad each pipe is.
uh,
So these are in between the Tiger and the true originals. Those are premium. So they're not quite as aggressive as the Tiger, but they're not as.
now this is tiger chain also.
This is the original premium chain.
Okay, so we.
A little more carbide, a little less than a Tiger.
All right.
So tiger, then that, then this.
Correct. So you do have different quality of chains.
Right. Okay. So, well, basically, what I'm getting at is, looks like we got 4 bags of chains in here, 5 bags. Okay. So,
In each size.
what do you mean in each size?
3.
Okay.
Could be
yeah,
2,
yeah.
3, and 4.
Okay. Okay. Per bag. So how many jobs on an average would you say this bag is set up for?
This bag,
Yeah,
oh god, probably 50 or 60.
50 or 60. All right.
Notice anything different about those?
Yeah, there's no carbides on
at
it.
all.
What would we use that for?
That's finish chain. No, I was not. Oh, PVC. Yeah.
You got grease clog.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got that soft clog, and it's inside that PVC.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you just want to knock off that
Build
nastiness.
up.
You can run this through your
Yeah.
PVC.
Okay,
Where
so
the other ones
basically
will
this
tear
bag's
it up.
also set up for just drain cleaning, you might say.
Yes, sir. You could also use this setup for drain cleaning. We keep talking about beating that scale to death, right?
Mhm. And that's pretty much like
That's like a hone.
Correct.
Okay, so that would be your final head if you're lining.
I personally like to run sandpaper through it as my
As the
final,
last.
as my final.
Okay, so that would come
Before
before
I correct.
sandpaper. Okay.
so you do the 3 chains, then go to this, then go to the sandpaper, then go to sweep.
You could probably get away with your original chains and then this, getting a hole through there first,
Mm-hmm.
and then running this. If it's still not great, if it's still kicking your clutch in,
Yeah.
is what's going to determine what tool you're going to run next.
Gotcha.
Oh, there it is. Oh, no, that's mine.
And what are these?
Those are going to be your what I call a whip. So you want to set up your chains, a couple sets of chains,
Yeah.
to where you just attach and it's already
On the end.
set to its distance and gapped and everything like we'd call it.
Right.
You have this guy. Automatically hooks up here, and you're going to put your chain on here. You put your like original chains on here, or your hammock chains, whichever you would like to call it.
And there's a cable inside.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So you set up all your different chains in there, and then you're just grabbing that piece instead of having to break out the little Allen wrench to set it up. You're pre-doing it.
Correct. You're the only thing you're gonna have to Allen key on is this guy right here
That way, all your spacing's set and everything out in the field.
for 3 and 4 inch or whatever size you're working on. I don't know how you do that.
In the mini miller that they purchased, Derek purchased, or Olin Plumbing purchased, we'll do 2 through 4 inch,
Inch and a quarter.
inch and a quarter
Through
4
6.
Through 6.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
And then when you move to the other one, it still goes down to what size? Down to 3 inch,
Down to 3 inch.
and then up to 8.
Up to 12.
Wow. Okay.
Now with this coating system, I prefer to keep it in that 4 inch range.
Mm-hmm.
I don't prefer to get into the 6. So that was 3. Did we mark off 3 inch? But it can still do it.
Yeah.
You're gonna have the same exact thing for your next size up or down, depending on which one we just opened up. These bags are gonna have these. These actually help keep the casing from melting to your tooling. If your casing melts to your tooling and then cools off because it hit water,
Mm-hmm.
your tooling's no longer gonna move because it's gonna be
Fused together.
fused to the unit. That was an experience thing talking.
Brushes.
Brushes for your my coat chains, my cyclone chains.
Yeah.
I put my 3 inch in my 3 inch bag, and I put my 4 inch in my 4 inch bag.
All
I now don't have to buy bags
right.
because you already have it. And the one reason I like doing these bags is because if I bought all this stuff separately, it costs more than the bag did.
Oh yeah.
So if I purchase it this way, I get everything I need. If
It's
I
a
start
package.
breaking it all down, I'm going to spend more money. And we don't pack these, so more wire brushes, this will be for your 4.
And the 2 inch didn't have the piece on the side. Is it 3 and 4? I didn't pay attention to the 3 that has the metal piece on the edge of the sandpiper.
Yes, sir.
Just for the larger sizes.
Yes, sir.
And is that just for an attachment point, or is that for actually cleaning the pipe as well?
That's actually for the attachment point.
Okay.
So what they do is they actually,
Have a slot?
this is a much better one to show that in.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit bigger and you can actually see it. Is
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
really slides up in there. It's hard to do with the plastic on there because it's a nice,
Yeah.
and they're directional.
Yeah.
Obviously, because we're going to spin them.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times you put them on backwards every single time.
Yeah. Mini miller. Here, wait a minute. Let me get this for you.
Question is, are you like the rest of us? You just gonna throw that away?
No. User manual.
User manual. Yeah. Who needs that? All right, as you can see there in the bottom of that box, looks like a little bit of oil.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a paraffin oil. These cables, obviously, we're spinning at a high speed.
Mhm.
So in between the casing and the cable, you need to keep that oil with a paraffin oil. Back in the day, we didn't have paraffin oil, so
Where's a good place to get the paraffin oil that you need to keep these lubricated?
hammerheadshop.com.
Did we get it? Did you
Standardly,
order
no.
it?
Standardly, no. But you're going to be about 2 months, 3 months before you will ever need any paraffin oil. Now, I love that they did this way because now my cord's not hanging in there as it's traveling down the road and getting pinched and cut and broke. Simply will plug in and your power is on the pedal.
with the emergency stop red button.
Emergency stop here, on off switch here. Ooh, they took away the little gadget that made it so hard to turn on and off. You need a pipe?
No.
This here stops this from rotating. You have variable speed on the back here. It's a little yellow piece right on the back right here.
Okay.
Keep that between 3 and 4. And we'll go over all of that. Does have the clutch on it, so like other machines, you have to have your clutch set on your drill.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the first to admit that I did not do that, and I broke my machine.
Yeah.
This is automatically
machine.
set for. This machine actually has it set for you. You already have a clutch on the tool.
Yeah.
The motor is on the tool. You have both your hands to operate the machine.
Gotcha.
Keep it from poking somebody in the eye.
In question, why didn't they do the same thing with the foot control where it can be disconnected?
Can't answer that.
Didn't make it. All he does is sell it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, there we have it. Matt just gave us, as you saw, went through everything that we have, and we're only missing one item, and he's going to take care of that for us. So he seems to be quite pleased with himself. What do you think, sir?
Great. I think that the way he explained it, what is wearable parts, what we're going to have, or what you'll have to get extra, and then if I buy it, the wearable stuff, what to keep extra. The whole presentation's good. The one thing you were talking about, the oil that goes in there, is it something that you just pour down in the cable as you're using it, or what's the best way to apply it?
Best way to apply it's going to be lay it out in the yard, bring the cable in itself, take it up about there, and start pouring it in until it starts doing what it's doing right now.
Dribbling out the other end.
Coming out the other end.
Pouring it in the casing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
In between the casing and the cable.
Okay.
All right.
Um,
Now, I got one other quick question. I've invited him to join us on the training. Does your company have any problem with that?
as long as we keep down minimal of 6 or maximum of 6 people
All right, well, that'll be fine.
in a group together, we're good with that. So
Right.
it's maximum of 6 people on any of our trainings at this time.
Okay.
There again, sharing new technology with other plumbing contractors, mechanical contractors. I'm a firm believer in it, and as I've invited other people today, but they just couldn't make it just on short notice. So, but anyways, you guys share your experiences, share your technology. It only makes the industry better and stronger, and it's better for the customer. So that's all I got.
I agree. Raise all boats, let all boats rise to the top. You're competing. It's the service that you're providing the customer. Doesn't matter if the next guy has the same stuff. You work in-house to provide what level of service that you want to the customer is what you're selling as service.
Also, you contractors out there, join the PHCC.
Yes.
These people are working for our industry. Even if you don't come to the meetings, at least become a member so that they've got the money to help fight our battles for us in whatever jurisdiction we're in. It's not a waste of money. And I'm still learning about the amount of benefits that we have that's provided to us by the PHCC. So, it's really not that expensive. You can get apprentice training through it. You can figure out cost analysis on jobs with
Yes.
it. And a bunch of other things. And then also, The big thing is you get to build a camaraderie with the other contractors. If you go to the meetings, you get to know your competition, and competition doesn't mean being enemies.
Yeah.
You can be allies, but still be competitors. So, like I said, all it does is strengthen our trade, and the PHCC will help ensure that our trade keeps on.
Yeah, and the PHCC, just to build on what Derek said, I mean, we're working on legislative, national, state level, local level. If you don't think it affects your business, every day it affects your business. There's always somebody that's trying to be able to get around the licensing, trying to be able to take some of your business away, do it cheaper. And we work on education, apprenticeship, journeyman training, pre-apprentice training, contractor training. We have all levels of training that
Continuing education also, right?
yeah, continuing education throughout all the different states. And it's our industry partners, our manufacturers, our distributors, our wholesalers are working with contractors to uplift the whole industry. And that's what the PHCC is about, is all levels of our industry coming together.
So on that note,
Thank you, Dirk.
have a great day.
Yep.